Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Varun Tahin. So in the previous session we saw how do we plot pairwise relationships using pair plot, and then we saw different plots for categorical variable also. Now today we will learn how to plot aggregated values across the categories. So this session will be shorter than the previous sessions as it is more focused on the interpretation of the graphs than seeing different plots. So today we will see the plotting of aggregated values across the categories. So for that we will use the bar plots, which we'll use to plot the mean, median and count plots. So bar plots are used to display the aggregated values of a variable rather than the entire distribution. So this is specifically useful when we have a lot of data which is difficult to visualize in a single figure. For an instance, if we take an example, let's say that we want to visualize and compare the average sales across the product categories. So here the SNS.barplot function can be used to do that. So now let us compare the average sales across the product categories. So for that I'll use SNS.barplot and give in x axis product categories and in y sales. Okay, and then in data we will give a df. Then we'll use plt dot show. So here you will note that by default Seaborn plots the mean value across the categories. You can see this dark sign here, though we can plot the count or median or sum and other aggregation functions also. Also bar plot computes and shows the confidence interval of the mean as well. So here we can observe that the sales of furniture are more than any of the other product categories. Now let's create two subplots for mean and median respectively for product category versus sales so as to compare the respective results. So I'll define a figure again. So I'll say plt.figure with fig size equals to 12,6, let's say, and then I will define two subplots, that is plt.subplot, say 1, 2, 1. So first column for the first row sns.barplot, and just copy this entire thing. Okay, and this is for the average sales because bar plot will defaultly plot the average sales, that is mean sales. So I'll just mention the title here as average sales. Okay, and for the second plot just copy this, make this at the second column and give the estimator here as np.median. Okay, and here we will say median sales, then we will do plt.show. Now looking at this, the mean and median sales across the product categories tell different stories, because you are seeing here that in the sales average the furniture is maximum, okay, but here in the median sales has dropped a little and technologies has gone up. Okay, this is because of some of the outliers or extreme values in the furniture category, okay, that is distorting the value of the mean. Now let us define another categorical variable in the plot. So we need to have a big figure for this. So we have already done that. So I'll just copy this here, and here it will be customer segment, and instead of box plot we'll have bar plot, and the estimator we will add as np.median. Okay, so when we plot this, you will see that the plot now neatly shows the median profit across the product categories and customer segment. So on an average, only technology products in small business and corporate, that is customer categories, are profitable, and also furniture is incurring heavy losses across all the customer segments. So we'll compare this to the box plot we have created above. Though the bar plots contain lesser information than the box plot, it is more revealing. Okay, so let's compare this with the box plots, and you can observe that this is more intuitive than this one. Now let's say that we want to visualize having a large number of categories. So it is helpful to plot the categories across the y-axis, okay, instead of the x-axis. So let's now drill down into product subcategories. I'll say plt.figure and define a fig size of, let's say 10,8 this time. Okay, then I'll say sns.barplot, and in x-axis I'll define profit, and in y-axis I will define the subcategories. So product subcategory. Okay, and then on data I'll provide this data frame, and in estimator I'll give np.median again. Okay, so this plot clearly shows which subcategories are incurring the heavy losses. So which are copiers and facts, bookcases, tables, and chairs and chair mats. Now we can also plot the count of observation across the categorical variables using sns.countplot. Okay, so let's try and do that. I'll define the figure with a fig size of 10,8 and then say sns.countplot, and given y-axis product subcategories. Okay, and in data we'll give as df. So let us check this out. Okay, so this is plotted now, and you can see the counts are on x-axis and product subcategory are on y-axis. So note here guys, the most loss making categories are copiers and facts. Okay, it has a very few number of orders. Now guys, I have provided a link here, so you can check this out. This will basically redirect you to the Seaborn official documentation. Here you will see that there are other plots as well apart from the box plot which we have seen, and the bar plot too. Okay, so there are strip plots and violin plots and other fancy plots. So you can look into this, okay, if you are interested, and you can make some fancy plots here along with this data. So this is it guys for today. It was a brief follow-up session just to extend the previous session and show you how to develop a sense of interpretation and show the same details differently by doing combination of attribute using bar plot on categorical variables. Now in the next session we will be seeing how to plot time series data. Until then guys, please practice the concepts taught. If you liked my content, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for future updates. Also remember guys, this will be a one-stop channel for anything and everything you need to learn for data science. I will be coming with more awesome content in coming weeks. Please take care of yourselves and your loved ones. I will meet you soon in the next session. Until then, thank you for watching and stay safe.